This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. Oh Lord, just let it shine. This light of mine, this light of mine. Oh Lord, would you please just let it shine. Take the drama out of my life. Oh Lord, every night the pain ain't right. I wake up at night, I never sleep. 26, 10, and 7, that's just me. Every day I need a little seed. I need a little fresh air, man, I need to breathe. All I know is trauma, all I know is tickets. All I know is no visit. All I know is a mission to get straight up out of prison. Lord have mercy for it. Lord have mercy on my people. Preacher Mary Washington and all my real. Lord have mercy with my people. I pray to God, we really need you. When I was down bad, when things weren't going right, every time I prayed at night, I put my hands up in my face. I said, Lord have mercy, little light of mine. Lord God, please let it shine. It's the drama that I live in my life. I swear to God, I was a bad guy every night. 10 toes down, salute. Everybody suffering, everybody who trying to make a way. Everybody looking for the sky, everybody looking for that piece of pie. In a law library, I know what that feel like. Hoping that somebody get active and involved in your situation. Man, pop your collar and pray. Cause Lord have mercy on my soul. And they make bad guy father get out soon. And the rest of those brothers who be mobbing to child each morning. Oh man, I ain't going to this afternoon. Man, I'ma miss dinner today. I got a couple of noodles. Hey, you know what that feel like? Do you know what it is? And if you a victim of a wrongful conviction, suffered and served by Ken Worthy, then I know that you know what that pain feel like. And your mama know what that pain feel like. Your father know what that pain feel like. With that light, let that little shine. Let that light shine, a little light of mine. Bad guy, Doughboy Week, all these great people in this great world of ours. 10 toes down, salute. I appreciate you, bad guy. I appreciate you, Week. I appreciate the tech. I appreciate everybody in the studio. We gonna pop off that LV. Ooh-wee. Cause that's what they be liking to see. But I hope you hear the missing when you see me fresh. Salute. Salute. You do good, bro?
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Turning a Moment into a Movement. I'm your host, J Love, and we'd like to thank you for being here. We want to say thank you for those who are watching on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube. Hi, welcome. So thank you for being here tonight as we continue to center truth, accountability, and justice. Our conversation is happening in real time across this country. We are witnessing decisions being made at the highest level that directly impact how justice is carried out and who it impacts the most, from policies and incarceration to ongoing debates around capital punishment, including renewed conversations about the firing squads. We are being reminded that the justice system is not just theoretical, it is active, it is involving, and it affects real lives every single day. And right here on the ground, we are dealing with human side of the system. We also want to talk about, we're going to give a great urgent update about Krystal Clark and her health conditions inside the Women's Huron Valley facility. I talked to her this morning. She's still very sick. She has a lot going on, and so we want to pray for Krystal. Keep her in your thoughts. This is just not a recap. This is not just a conversation. This is about what happens when policies meet people, when systems meet real lives, and when communities refuse to stay silent. So this evening, we want you to lean into the truth as we ask the hard questions as we continue to work, and welcome to turning a moment into a movement. So I also want to give you our mission statement while I'm here in this space. Just one second. Here we are. Our mission statement. Turning a moment into a movement was inspired by the wrongful conviction of Gerard Haycraft and built from the urgent need to create safe, empowering space for all who have been harmed by injustice. Our mission is to shine a light on wrongful convictions, over sentencing, and neglect of those who are mentally ill and medically frail within the criminal legal system. We are committed to uplifting voices, sharing truths, and advocating for those too often silenced through education, community organizing, and courageous storytelling. We work to disrupt systems, policies, and patterns that fuel injustice and transforming awareness into collective action and turning every moment into a movement for real change. So, thank you guys for joining us. We had a very, very busy week last week. We're going to get into it. But first, before we get into it, I want to bring on, as we move the conversation forward, I would like to bring on someone who helps grounds us, not just fighting injustice, but also how we carry ourselves. So I want to bring on Reverend Tia, and maybe she can give us some grounding words um, before we get started, just to center us tonight or this evening. So, hey, Reverend Tia.
Hey there. Oh, I'm so glad to see everyone today. And Jay, I'm just so happy about our mission statement and realizing that we create this space. And in this space, this turning a moment into a movement reminds us that no matter what happens, there's an opportunity for us to move forward. There's an opportunity for movement. And sometimes the movement is just to be still in order to get more information. You can be still and get to know really what is it that I'm supposed to be doing. What is it? What makes my heart leap? And a lot of times, right now, what we're seeing is the fear is keeping people paralyzed, and so they won't fight against or speak against or talk against inhumane acts. But this is our time. This is our time, not just to shine, but to show forth the power that's within us, knowing that your life is not in vain, your actions are not in vain, that you can speak a thing or say a thing and begin to reimagine what justice actually looks like. And see yourself taking a stance in your own spaces where you say, I will follow the truth that lives within me. I will follow the truth that I know will set me free. There's no need to be afraid. The power is always within. It's always within you. And I'm so grateful, Jay, that we have this opportunity today because there's a lot that's coming up that looks like we should fear more. But no, this is the time to stand and then move. And a lot of us are moving right now. It's moving time. If you didn't get a chance to call the governor's office, Jay, let's put that number back up there again for them. We have to continue to fight against the inhumane acts that are happening at Huron Valley. And if you did not contact the governor's office, please do so. You can also call. But we need more people to request medical clemency for Krystal Clark. And this will set precedents for many women. And you have to know that this is the only female prison in Michigan. And so it's time for us to take action. And I'm so blessed to have this opportunity. And I hope you are too. Realize that this is the time that your calling is calling you forward. And so let's walk together. Let's make the phone calls together. And listen, if you're on Facebook or Instagram and holler at Jay, holler at Trische, let us know. Holler at myself at thechoicezone.com and say, hey, or the narrative transformer. Say, hey, I did it. I did it. I see you, Baraka. Thank God for you. And thank you for your prayers. All right. Oh, Jay, you're muted.
So my mic was on, but the number, if you guys want to call the governor, is 1-517-335-7858. Again, that number is 1-517-335-7858, and ask the governor what's going on with Krystal Clark. We need to ask her, when is she going to let her out of there? She's highly allergic to mold, highly allergic. And because it's warming up and they're doing things in there, we were talking to her the other morning, and it was like she was gasping, with every word. It was so hard for her to breathe. On Tuesday, Reverend Tia, Krystal called and said, hey, they won't let me use the handicap bathroom that I always use. And I just was like totally appalled. Like, why can't she not use the ADA bathroom?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a federal law. She has a walker. She has a heart problem. She uses it every day, but this one particular person, we shall not call their name, but would not allow her to use the bathroom. And so, well, not that particular bathroom. She could go to other ones. So, as we often do, we contacted the state reps and asked them to find out what was the problem. But it continued on like 3-4 hours. Can you imagine, having not able to use the bathroom?
That's ridiculous.
She already has some kind of issues going on with her digestive system. She's bleeding. She's coughing up blood. There's blood in her stool. She's not using the bathroom as she should. She's swollen. And so we did a Facebook campaign and asked people to call. And so, that's direct action. In some situations require direct action. I know that, sometimes we post things and, there is certain people will say, well, it's just Facebook drama. No, they want to change the narrative all the time when it comes to us speaking out or advocating and on Krystal's behalf, or even the other women. So we did it, and she was able to use the bathroom the next day. is a whole nother conversation that we're going to talk about when Trische is on. But I just wanted to update everybody about that situation. It was, it's something every day. Every day. But
and Jay, you know what? I pray that we begin to get a list of all those people who have done these horrific acts, because a lot of times there comes a time when the light is shown on the darkness, and what has been hidden will be revealed.
Right.
And a lot of times when there's revelation, people get to scattering, getting out of the way, acting as if they didn't have their hand in it. But we want to hold people accountable.
Yes.
And we want those names nearby, because the light is going to shine on the darkness, and what has been hidden will be revealed. And all of those people running around in sheep's clothing as a wolf will be seen. We will be calling you out, and you will be held accountable.
Yeah. So we have a list. So we just, what's they say? Taking a list, checking it twice.
Yep, checking it twice. That's right.
So, there is a list. And it's ongoing, and it's really sad that people are treated so inhumanely. I mean, just yesterday I was writing some things about Krystal, and then I saw that Attorney Ben Crump is representing a young man who was detained. He was wrongly arrested, and I can't think of what county that was. I'll come back to it, but anyway, he lost his hands and his feet. He has sepsis infection. Why? And end up losing his hands and his feet. And they dropped the charges. So he was in there for something, wrongly arrested, and lost his hands and feet. And so in these systems, they have so many people who do not care. Right. Do not care about how they treat people. Do not care about how they're servicing people. And the other part of it, we're paying for it. We're paying salaries, and we're paying people for lawsuits. Michigan Department of Corrections don't pay the lawsuits. The citizens pay the lawsuits. Department of Corrections all over the United States, except for federal. I think federal, the government pays those laws. But the citizens, the taxpayers, are paying these lawsuits. And so when people say, because, we had that whole big press conference last week. And when you read the comments and stuff, I had to stay out of them because some of them are really harsh. But when people say, hey, I don't care, why should we care? Where's your money? You should care. You're paying for it. There's employees that are affected as well, right? And so you're paying their salaries. You're paying for them when they're off sick. So we're paying for it one way or the other. So it's all of our business, and we should all care.
That's right. That's right.
I want to, before we get started, I just want to say, I don't know if Trische is going to pop in tonight because she's being honored. Her church is, she's getting a humanitarian award tonight. So we want to send love to Trische. She might be watching. But yes, we're so proud of her and the work that she does with Supply for Speak. They're just growing. They got a lot of things that's going on this summer, a lot of community engagement. And also Juneteenth. She's working day and night on Juneteenth. Trische, I don't even know when she gets to sleep because she's constantly working, but She is being honored this evening. So we want to send some thoughts and love to Trische as she is being honored by her church. So
Yeah.
how cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
proud of Trisha. She doesn't get, she has not, she doesn't, and I'm going to say this because I've seen Trisha in action and others, people who are called to these positions and to help, to be a voice for the vulnerable, oftentimes don't get the rest that others may feel that they need, and they will go for quite a while helping others, looking after others. And I must say that she is so legitimate and truthful. Um, and a lot of times people don't understand that there's an anointing that goes with you when you are doing your purpose. And I must say that she's doing her purpose. And I know it gets hard. I can't even imagine because some of the things, the undertakings that she has taken in the midst of all of her situations that she has to deal with, that are just everyday family, illness, people, that things we go through. And a lot of times we don't realize that a lot of people who are being championed on have these same things that we're dealing with too. And
yeah,
yet they take time and show love to people who are most vulnerable. And so I just
mhm.
really thank God for her.
Yeah, because people see Trisha and they think she has really tough skin, but she really doesn't. She's very passionate about the work. She care about people. Um, Sometimes people don't like her delivery, but
Yeah.
you're not gonna like it when you're talking about injustice all the time. And
Yeah.
so she's very, very um, focused on the word. And
Hmm.
people call her all the time because they know that she's going to stand up. They know that she's going to stand up. So
Hmm. They
I,
know it.
yeah. So I just want to, congratulate her on another award and, you know, just being honored to, be in this work with her. I remember when Nicholas introduced us, he's when I was starting to fight for Gerard, and
Hmm.
so we've been like in this justice thing, just journey
Hmm.
all of us since. So
That's right.
uh, we've been on here for a minute, and it's just growing, and I'm just honored to be, a part of it with Trisha.
Hmm.
Um, so speaking of Trisha, her brother, the press conference was at her brother's church,
Hmm.
um, Reverend Pastor John Duckworth, and
Hmm.
I brought I got the video of him speaking, and I wanted to play it,
Hmm.
because he gave a really good perspective. And so, hold on, because I didn't preload it, because we had a lot going on today, and I
Hmm.
got my grandson, so. Just 1 second. Let me load it
Hmm.
up. Okay.
It is unimaginable that individuals would live in this situation, in this condition, in this country, let alone the state of Michigan. It is unbelievable because it was an animal, a dog or a cat, that was living in these type of conditions that these women are living in. It would be activism all over the place, and steps would be taken. But these are lives, women, mothers, daughters, aunts, nieces, granddaughters that are living under these conditions, and
anyone that would turn the other way, something is wrong with them spiritually and mentally. It is my belief that there is a reason why there are over 3,000 references to justice in the Bible. We don't spend enough time talking about justice like we need to. But as I speak on behalf of this church, the Assembly Baptist Church, also on behalf of the Council of Baptist Pastors of Detroit and vicinity, as well as Mission United and other organizations that I am involved with, we will not rest until justice is brought forward. And whatever we have to do to make it happen, that's what we're going to do. So my appeal to our governor and to those in charge, it is always now is the right time to do what's right.
Yeah. He made a good point.
The time is now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we were talking about animals, people would be mortified.
Right.
They
Right.
would be mortified. They would be calling all kinds of, the phones would be ringing off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying animals are not important. I love my animal. I love my Jay. But I'm just saying, people would be mortified if you had an animal and house full of animals and mold and all that stuff. They would be going crazy. But just to hear us talking about a woman or women who are living in a facility that we know have mold in it, and you still don't respond, it's crazy work to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I also wanted to play this other video of Krystal's sister that we played during that rally as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Trische Clark. I am Krystal Clark's sister. First and foremost, me and my family would like to say thank you to everyone for all your hard work. As you all know, we are here today because my sister Krystal Clark has been exposed to black mold during her incarceration stay at Women's Huron Valley Correctional Facility. My sister has been incarcerated in Women's Huron Valley for almost 16 years. For years, my sister cried out for help, complaining about her breathing and telling them that something was wrong. For years, my sister talked about the mold growing in the showers, in the corners. She talked about the ventilation. For years, no one took the time to even listen to her. We made calls, we protest, we ran letters, we signed petitions, we made several calls to the ombudsman, complaints about the conditions at this facility, and no one cared enough to listen. Today, my sister is almost unrecognizable. You see the effects of how this black mold is taking over her body. You hear when she speaks how she's out of breath. This is one of the most heartbreakingest things I had to deal with. Being in the healthcare field, I help so many daily. Yet when my sister calls me, the only thing I can say is that it's gonna be okay. And honestly, I'm starting to feel hopeless. I'm hoping that this conference provides some type of lead so that we can get her out and we can get her the proper health care that she needs. I'm hoping that this conference expose women Huron Valley enough so that the other women can get to safety as well. I am praying that my sister is not another life lost in Huron Valley. So again, thank you all for your time, your effort, and all that you do to help our family get through this. Thank you.
And all that you do
Yes.
to help our family get through it.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Levity. That's more from the press conference Friday. We also had Shawana there, and I'm gonna play her now. So Shawana.
I speak to the women on a daily basis, and the women are suffering. The conditions are inhumane. The food is unfit for humans. The legislature had a whole session, a whole hearing on inhumane conditions. And yet Heidi Washington is still silent, like my organization. The governor is silent. This is inhumane. They got paint to cover up, and this is ridiculous. Krystal Clark is suffering. The other women are suffering. The staff is suffering. And yet the unions don't even care about their own workers. Nobody's addressing that. One of the staff members testified that she had mold and she had surgery. The unions don't care, the government doesn't care. But I want to know, does the legislature care? Because we're in midterm elections. Be it Republican or Democrat, I do not care. If they are not taking up this issue and they are not trying to free Krystal Clark and change the conditions and move the women out of Huron Valley, then your seat is in jeopardy and your time is up. I want everybody to pay attention to Reggie Miller, who just did a bill the other day, very quiet, but very loud. It wants people who are formerly incarcerated to announce themselves when we run for office. Michigan legislature, you are on notice. Free Krystal Clark. Don't just send in people with red lights and briefcases. That was cute. That's not what's needed. Read the signs behind me. Humanity is either for everybody or nobody. And the pastor's right. If they were animals, everybody would be alarmed. But because they're minorities, mainly because that's what y'all say in data, but that doesn't hold true. Nobody cares. And you believe that women who are incarcerated, that you're safer in your communities, you're not. So I'm asking you, free Krystal Clark, but also remove all the women from Huron Valley. There has to be a better place. If you release the medically frail, the over-sentenced, and the innocent, as Larry Darnell Smith says, we could reduce the prison size by half. And we can find another place for them to be that's holistic, that doesn't have mold, where the food is edible, where resources are actually received. Because if your mission statement says to rehabilitate and do no harm, you're failing your own mission statement. And the Department of Corrections needs to be corrected. And their ombudsman, Keith Barber, needs to be fired. Because if you've been on your job 40 years now, you work for the people that you that you don't represent. So I'm calling on the governor to do the right thing. Fire Heidi Washington on your way out. Fire Keith Barber on your way out. Fire Kyle Kaminsky on your way out, because this doesn't work. They've been at their jobs too long. And it needs to be oversight by community and people that actually care, like the people in this room. And if you're not going to do that, then we're going to pick better with our new decisions in this midterm. At this Democratic caucus, y'all better get it right. Because guess what? Votes count, and we are here to vote, and we will vote you out. Have a good day.
This is the perfect pair for your iPhone, and it replaces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Shawana.
Then it's time to get right.
Yes, and so yesterday I was talking to Krystal. She was having problems breathing. We were talking about she saw the doctor. So I don't know if you guys remember, but I'm sure you do, Revertier. Last year there was a meeting with legislators and the prison staff, and after that meeting, they took all Krystal's medications away, and now she has to go to the medical place to get her medications every day, 2-3 times a day. And then also she has to have a once a month meeting with her. And so she can't see the doctor until there, but once a month when they have this meeting. So they had the meeting on this Friday, and they were trying to do something weird, like scrape her ears off or whatever. And the last time they tried to scrape the stuff, the mold that's growing on her ears off, Krystal's whole face swelled up, and her ears was bleeding for at least a month. And so after that conversation, I just sat down and with all the information that I had in front of me, and made this video. And so I want to show this. This video doesn't have any words, so those who are listening, well, you're going to miss out on this. But those who are watching, you will see what's going on in this video. So I'm going to play that now, Revertier. And then we can have a discussion after that.
Okay.
So basically, the video showed that there is a difference between what they're saying at MDOC Huron Valley and what the outside doctors are saying. They're saying, and there's a slide in there that it was shows what the outside doctors are saying versus them. And one of the things that we find interesting in this whole thing is how the outside doctors saying, hey, she's allergic, she shouldn't be in that space. No matter, we giving her this medicine is like very strong and it has a lot of side effects. And even the doctor who prescribed it, because this is not her first time taking this medication, it's actually her second time. So another doctor agreed with the same recommendations of the aspergillus. And the aspergillus is the mold that's growing inside her ears. And so she's taking this medication, this strong medication. And meanwhile, they're saying, hey, in order for her to get better, she has to be released from or be out of this mold environment. Because she's taking this medicine, but it's not going to help if she's constantly still inside the mold, right? Now this and this picture was taken in 2024. Now you see the current picture, January 2026, her ears is turning black. Now, as you see, her ears around them wasn't black. Now she got this growing and is growing on the outside of perimeters of her ears. So it's already showing you a difference. And so Friday, when she went to the this meeting, or what you call it, if you want to call it that, she has it growing out of her nose now. That means it's in her sinus areas. And we're still acting like it's okay. Even one of the spokespeople, that's the spokesperson for MDOC or Heidi Washington or whoever, he said, well, hey, it's just regular mold. It's not harmful. But it's harmful for somebody who's allergic.
Yeah.
So as we constantly are advocating and talking to them about this and spreading awareness, there's people saying, hey, this is just regular mold, like house mold. Not even house mold. I was watching videos just this week, and I should have brought one or two on, but I didn't. But they were talking about how being your house with mold can affect your mental. It can make you have brain fog. It can have you feeling really sick, and you won't know how sick you are until you leave the house or you go somewhere else. And when you're out of that space, you're feeling good until you get back in there and it's the mold. So just imagine 15 years of being in a space that's has mold everywhere, in the vents, in the ventilation system, in the water, all over the place for 15 years. And people saying, well, it's just regular house mold and you're allergic.
Yeah, that's like saying for a person who is allergic to a bee sting.
Right.
And see, if some people will die from a bee sting, some people won't. But to just say, oh, it's just a regular bumblebee, it's just a regular bee.
Right.
So it just depends on what your body can handle. You were right, Jay. People will go out of their way for their animals, caregiving, making sure they have good healthy food to eat. You have all these companies now that make sure that the dog food is healthy and doesn't have harmful chemicals in it. Sometimes the dog and cat food is healthier than people food. I'll say that again. Sometimes the dog and cat food is healthier than people food. And the
Yes.
thing about it is that it's okay though. It's okay to allow people, because of the amendment that says that as long as the person is incarcerated, then they can be slaves. And I'm just paraphrasing. So if that's the case, then you can feed them whatever you want. We got to stop that. We got to begin to really think about what does it mean to be human.
Yeah. And the other
And
thing,
some people need human cards revoked.
right? We have to see the humanity in each other.
Yeah.
And I think that we don't because we're so disconnected. Everybody's all into their own thing. You don't even, it's not happening to me. It's not happening to nobody I know. So you don't give a damn, right? Until it happens to you. Now it's happening to you. But guess what? It was already happening to you.
Already.
Krystal is happening to Krystal. It's happening to you. Not only is she a women, she's a Black woman. We were just at an event where all the women were doulas and people had never heard of what was going on with Krystal Clark. But until we brought the information in the room and everybody was paying attention, because guess what? She's a woman. She's a Black woman. She's an incarcerated woman, but she's a mother. She's a grandmother. She's also a sister, a daughter, an auntie.
Yeah.
She's not just Krystal 48, whatever her number is. She's more than that. And
That's
just
right.
because, and on top of that, she's wrongly convicted of something she didn't even do.
That's it.
So she gets to get a death sentence inside of Michigan Department of Corrections, Women Huron Valley Facility.
Yep.
I had to say it, all the names, because we got to say all the names. They're giving her a death sentence. She didn't serve. She wasn't sentenced to death, but literally being somewhere that's toxic to you is death.
Yes.
I'm allergic to fish, and I can't be, sitting around seafood and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
It'd kill me if I would get out of there. So
exactly.
We just have to do better as humans, Revatia. And human beings. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say we got to see where in the system, how does the system impact us? How does it impact our community? What is happening that's impacting our community? One of the things, most recent things, though we've talked about it before, is a lot of times now people and a lot of African Americans are being picked up, not just by police to go to the police station, but they're taking you to the hospital, and then the hospital is putting you into a psych ward, and then they're deeming that you are incompetent psychologically. And a lot of times people have lost their jobs just in that little bit of time. If it's 5 days or 6 days and you don't report, depending on how new the job is, and you lost the job because somebody said, and this is what they'll say, that he or she threatened to commit suicide. And you probably didn't. I've had several people that said, I didn't even do that. They were just angry with me. One guy had been harassed by the same officer several times. And so we got to know what is the thing now. And
Right.
the remedy to that particular situation is having advocates, somebody who can speak up for you, being connected with somebody. We need to increase our connection, not just online, not just your Facebook friends and all these other friends, but get some real connection. Get out in the community, connect with somebody, connect with an organization, so that if things happen, or if somebody you know and love goes through something, it may not be you directly. Be there as an advocate, have some answers, be able to refer them to somewhere or
Yeah.
someone who can help.
Yes, because we have state reps. I'm just going to put it out here that really don't care. It's like a lot of people really don't care. And I'm not going to say they don't care. They might care on some level,
Yeah.
but you're incarcerated. So they're not giving you that energy or that amount of attention that you need. I talked to the state rep about, what was going on with the bathroom such situation, and the response was, well, the response is that it's a single bathroom, and most everybody wants to use it, and there's others that were closer that she couldn't use. So I'm thinking
That's what the state rep said.
yes, it's okay to violate her rights because you feel that she shouldn't use this particular bathroom because there's other ones and nobody was even in there. So my
Oh my
response
goodness.
was, and I gave a response. I said, well, hey,
Mm-hmm.
she has a condition that she's bleeding, that she
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
from
That's
different
true.
areas of her body. Should everybody
Mm-hmm.
be exposed to that? She has a health condition that
Yeah.
warrants her to be in a space by herself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Should everybody be exposed to that? He said, after I said what I said to him in response to that, he said, you're welcome.
He said, "You're welcome."
He said, you're welcome.
What do you mean you're welcome?
That was his response. You're welcome.
Did you tell him thank you?
No.
And why is he welcoming you?
Because he didn't want to address what I said. This is the position that there's no pushback. Like, you're the boss and you're just telling me what they're saying. And when I push back to you saying, hey, because A, B, and C, because she has a walker, because she has blood, because she has this and that, and this is why she chooses to be in this particular space, and nobody was there, and it was not like anyone was in the space. He said, you're welcome. That was his response.
So did you follow back up with him after the action that we took? And then she was able to use the bathroom. Did you follow up with him?
This was
on
after that. Yes.
And then what did he say?
This was after that. Following up, I followed up, and then he gave me his follow up, which said, they said that, what I told you, there's only one, and she can go to others, blah, blah, blah. And then this was the follow up. And so when I gave my follow up to his follow up, he said, you're welcome. He did not respond to anything I said. He didn't address it. He didn't take it any further. He just said, you're welcome.
Wow. Well, I shouldn't even say this, but it reminds me of that children's movie. I'm trying to think of the name, and the song is "You're Welcome." And he was a demigod. He was that with the demigod, and my goodness, I got to remember this. Anyway. It was and I loved it. We showed it at our church one time, and the children got up and were dancing at the end. And it's one of my grandbaby's favorite. Moana. Was it Moana or something like that? I can't remember. Anyway, the demigod was bragging about everything he had done, and she was coming to him for help. And all he did was kept saying, "You're welcome. You're welcome." He turned into that demigod. He was not even hearing, not even trying to do anything more.
That was my experience with this particular state rep. Hey, did we forget that people vote for you? But anyway, he just said, "You're welcome."
You're welcome.
That was his response. Now, meanwhile, there's 8 other people. There's 8 other elected officials in this chat. None of them said nothing. And his response was, "You're welcome." So this is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? When people feel like government doesn't work for them, I'm telling you, I'm experiencing how it's not working, because he just responded to me with "You're welcome," and like literally like, "Goodbye, I'm done."
It's not funny, but it is the way of the I don't want to use gaslighting, because a lot of times that is true, but it is the way of many people in leadership positions. And somehow, some way, the position has fogged up their vision to serve. And serving is more for recognition than it is for really solving any issues. And that's what I think, part of the reason why we come on, every week or every time we do come on, is because there is an opportunity for us to take action in our community. And a lot of times we don't take action because we don't know what we can do. But we've got to start doing some things, and seeing which legislators are in leadership positions, making decisions supposed to be on our behalf, but not really for us.
Right.
And we need to get rid of them.
Right. So that leads into this conversation about the Michigan Democratic Caucus convention that we attended. So we were invited, and it was the next day after the press conference. We were invited to attend a luncheon. So I'm going to say this about this was my first time attending. I heard about it before numerous times, but I never attended. So I finally got the opportunity to attend that weekend of events. First of all, I think more of us should be involved. And I can see why people are irritated, and I'm selecting words, irritated with the Michigan the Democratic Party, period. I can see why people are irritated with them. I can see by the process that they go through how they do what they want to do, even though it's supposed to be for the people. Sunday, we were supposed to vote for the people that we wanted to see on the ballot, right? As a Democratic, signed up as a Democratic Party member, you had the opportunity to vote. And so the voting was supposed to start at 3:00, Reverend. The voting didn't start probably to 6:00, because they came at 3:00. There's like 8,000, maybe close to 8,000 people in this space. And they come on and say, "Hey, there's a glitch in the system." Well, the glitch in the system lasted for maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Who's still sitting there? There are people there from all over the state that comes here for this event. Parking is $50, $60, $70
Woo! Glory.
of clothes. So if you're an elder, if you have some disabilities and you think you want to be closer so you won't have to walk 2-3 blocks down for affordable parking, it's not happening. You got to have $50, $60, $70 for that on that day, which I thought was really ridiculous. Then you have people here all day from early in the morning, 8 o'clock for different caucuses till whatever time at night with no water, no food.
Wow.
You didn't offer anybody a bottle of water. You didn't give them no food. You don't have an apple or nothing. So if somebody had to take some medication or whatever, not only do you need to have $50, $60, $70 to park, you better have some money for some food. So you're talking about $100 or more just to participate in a process that the process got a glitch in the system, and you have to sit back. You got to sit back and wait hours. It just was ridiculous. And this is what frustrates people. And then there's people who get on the ballot is the people who brought that people. They stayed. They got them food. They got water for the people that and we're going to sit through this process. So when it's get time for me, you vote and I get on the ballot. And so when you see all this stuff talking about elections and stuff, and we just not paying attention, not being involved, these things are happening, right? And we wonder why we lose our voices because we're not even participating or figuring out how we can change the system and do something differently. We just checked out of the whole thing, and we can't check out. We can't check out.
Yeah. Some of us have just decided to opt out, and opting out is not an option anymore. We cannot take that option. This is very important. This is critical that we don't take the opt out. That is not that cannot be a factor.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can't select opt out right now when they're talking about bringing the firing squads and all this other stuff back. And I think South Carolina has a firing squad because I remember when the attorney was on, Elizabeth, and she was that was probably a year or two ago, and she was talking about it then that in that state they was bringing back the firing squad. Well, now on the federal level.
Yeah, they already have it in South Carolina and Idaho,
Oregon,
Mississippi, Utah, and Oklahoma.
And so now they want to bring it on a federal level and bring back the firing squads. And so I'm just saying on the level of wrongful convictions and wrongful arrests that we experience here, not only in Michigan, but in the United States on a local and federal level, we're going to bring back the firing squads. This is the conversation we're having now. And it's not even,
and this is what's happening. Even while all the other things are being put in our faces, there's an underlying current of changes that are happening in our communities that will affect us. So the firing squad was supposed to be a backup method if lethal injection fails. In the world, in this day and age, does lethal injection fail? Okay, I'll let y'all answer that. In Idaho, it's becoming a primary method starting in 2026. This is what is so mind-boggling to me, is how are we so quick to get into death and how we can kill instead of how we can bring life?
Yeah.
How can we preserve life? That's not a thing for us. That's amazing to me.
That's not a thing. Life is not a thing. All we can think about is death and mayhem. And
Right.
so that's the answer to the solution to everything. And guess who's going to be the people that's going to be showing up in front of the firing squad? You
Hello.
better ask somebody. And so again, we can't check out. We got to pay attention who asking, soliciting for our votes. How are they
Right.
representing you? Are they talking about the same thing you're talking about? Are they? You said something about the report card, like last year you were talking about the report, probably the last few years, the report card. And we do need a report card. We do
Yeah.
need to have some kind of system where there is some balances and checks. Because when there is no balances and no checks, there's no accountability. And where there's no accountability, what's going on? Mayhem, craziness,
Yeah.
corruption, corruption at the highest levels of corruptivity, if that even is a word. But I'm just saying there's all kinds of stuff going on because there's nobody to check. There's nobody to balance it out. There's no transparency. We talk about MDOC, another man that fell to his death. How many people that fell down out of this facility, off these walk paths, then falling off like, like apples off a tree. And there's nobody who says, hey, people should be just falling off. There needs to be something going on or a fix for this. But when you have so many cover-ups, when you don't say anything, the cover-up continues. I talked to Krystal this morning, and we were talking about how different people, and even me and Trische met a lot of people who said, I wrote a letter, I sent the email, I did this. And how, someone just recently said, yeah, we talked to the governor and she seems very interested. Like this is her first time hearing about this. This is not her first time hearing about this stuff. She knows
She's
about.
She's very interested now.
Right. Revatia, how many spaces have we been into? And the people told us that the governor knows about this and that Krystal's information is with the legal department. How many times, Revatia? And so she knows. I want to say it for everybody that's going to watch this or listen to this. The governor knows about Krystal Clark.
Yes.
She knows about the mold situation inside those facilities. She's fully aware of the class action lawsuit. She knows about Krystal's condition. She knows at this point is a choice being made. It's not about this. She doesn't know. She's making a choice not to get involved. She's making a choice not to answer. It's just a choice at this point. And so as we're making a choice to keep it in the public awareness.
Yes.
Yes. Choice to educate the community about the mold, not only inside of Huron Valley, but even in your home. You should be suspicious about leaks, about water getting in your home. Pay attention to the mold. Mold can make you sick. Mold.
I have a dear friend of mine, Jay, who in realized this lady is in her 80s, friend of our family's, and she was sleeping where the mold was and didn't even know the mold was there. Ended up in the hospital, all these breathing complications, and it come to find out they were the same complications that early on Krystal was going through. The difference was this woman was able to get medical care at 80 and is fine today.
Yes. And I also learned
is it didn't have to go as far as the prognosis would have been much better had they been able to go ahead and take care of her immediately, but they did not.
Right. They made a choice. And so I learned yesterday that the mold, we're used to seeing mold like on bread or mold on the ceiling. But before it gets to that black looking stuff, it looks like dust. And people often annoy that, the dust looking part of it. That's when it's not as toxic. You can get it out of there. But once it gets to the blackness and all that stuff and starts spreading, that's when it's its most toxic. And sometimes you have to have somebody to come in. You can't wipe that down with bleach. Quit listening to these folks. You can't pay no. Quit listening to. You can't. It has to be removed. It has to be removed in a way that's correct and won't continue to grow and cause you. Sometimes it can be you don't even see it. You
That's
don't
right.
even know it's there. So there's a lot to the mold. We need to pay attention to this. This is really something that has, because people don't think it's important. It's not a big thing. You know, it's been like kicked to the side, but really is an urgent thing. Pay attention. Pay attention with what's going on to Krystal Clark.
Yeah.
You know, people want to say, well, she has Bell palsy. She looks like she has a stroke. No, it's the mold. It has affected the muscles in her face. And that hence, because the mold is growing through her nasal passages and it affected the muscles in her face. The muscles is drooping down. So she lost control of it, and that's henceforth the droop in her face. So, and let me put that picture up because
they say that is one of the side effects to the mold. What you're looking at right now is a true side effect from the mold. And so when we say take action, continue to take the action. Continue to make the phone calls. You know, it's just like that saying, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? You got to keep, we got to keep talking about it. We got to keep, they say, why you keep talking about it? Because things aren't the way it should be.
Right. And the more people you talk about it too, the more you share this story, the more it spreads, the more people become aware, the more people can get involved. And that's in anything. That's in everything. Right. You know, that's it with your school and any agency that you see an injustice. You have to educate and keep spreading awareness. That's the main thing. You know, I know people say, oh, they're not going to do anything.
You can't even sell a house that has mold.
No, you cannot. You cannot. That's why you have to get an inspection.
Right.
And now who's inspecting inside of Huron Valley? Who's inspecting the other person? Because even the men, I have talked to the men, they have mold in their facilities. They paint over the mold. So it's just not Huron Valley. It's a systemic thing that's going on within MDOC. And all across the United States, other facilities have mold in them. So we're not just saying this is only affecting one facility. We're just saying, hey, this is the only facility in Michigan for women. And you got all the women here, and it's full of mold. What are you going to do about it?
And you know, and that's it's not funny, but I hear it all the time, Jay. They say, well, it's like this everywhere. So is that okay?
Right.
It's like that everywhere. Is that okay?
Right.
Slavery was all over the United States. Was that okay?
Right. Just like people want to know, well, what did she do? Do it matter if she did anything?
Right.
What about humanity?
Yeah.
Actually, she didn't do anything to be in there, but she's in there, unfortunately. Like a lot of people in our state and across this country who are in spaces that they shouldn't be in.
Right.
So, Reverend Tia, what else? We were going to talk about the Vessey Brothers, and I saw Trische pop in and out a couple of times, but we're going to make a whole special conversation for the Vesseys. We're gonna come back
And
and talk about
maybe even get Diane back on with Trische on that would be good too.
yeah. And then we're also gonna have when we talked to him last week, Kevin Skypes. I think I'm saying his last name right, but
Mm-hmm.
Diane was talking about his story last week. His niece contacted me, and he's going to come on next month, and we're really going to dig into his story. And then James
Mm-hmm.
Jones is going to be back, and we're going to do a part 2 for him. So we're really going to be next month of May heavy into the wrongful conviction conversations. And so,
Okay.
again, if you want to join us, if you have a story, a wrongful conviction story that you would like to us to examine and bring awareness to, um, reach out to us. We have a link tree, and I'll show you the link to the link tree. That's link tree. Turn a moment into a movement.
Yes.
You can contact us there. And then at our email, also turning a moment into a movement at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a story that you, a wrongful conviction story that we had to look over it and, have some conversations. But that's how you can reach us to, bring us a story. And also, Reverend Tia, are you, we talked about getting together and do like a trauma release.
Right. For the trauma release for the women. In fact, I have those dates. I was trying to make sure I was not going to be that I was going to be in town. But for the month of June on Tuesdays, I'll be meeting with those who would like to go through a transformational trauma release, women who have been incarcerated. I will be doing that free for women starting June 2nd, and it'll be for 4 weeks from the 2nd through the 23rd. And we'll also be planning um, a time with turning a moment into a movement where we do a full release in person coming together and really looking at all the different techniques because once you've been incarcerated, once you've gone through not only it's not just incarceration, it is the impact of trauma and being re-traumatized. Because you got to know that most people who end up behind bars were already at an economically disadvantage. Most people who cannot fight economically the system, who are wrongfully convicted or
Mm-hmm.
overly sentenced, did not have the means to fight for their justice. And so there's re-traumatization that happens. There is the culture of what does the culture of prison bring? Is it really rehabilitation? What kind of mindset happens when you're behind bars? What kind of mindset are those who even continue to perpetuate injustice as guards?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to have ways that we can heal and begin to use that moment as a stepping stool so that you really are turning even that moment into a movement for your own
Yeah.
life.
Yes. It's, you are who you've been looking for.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
We've been looking for somebody to come and save us, but you are the person that you've been looking for. So we just want to
Yeah.
empower people. We want you to be able to step into who you really are
Mhm.
and take your life back. We talk about that all the time at TLC about taking your life back. Take
That's
your
right.
life back. You're
Mhm.
not the worst thing that has happened to you or you have experienced, and you can
That's
take your
right.
life back. So, with that being said, I want to thank you for joining us, Reverend Tia. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
This has been a very busy week for us, but the work is not done. There's always something to do, and we're going to still be pushing for Krystal Clark, and we're still going to be advocating for those who are wrongly convicted. We're going to do one of the trauma releases as a part of the Love Gathering movement that we started a few years back. And so we just look out for that, for the date and the location where that's going to be at. And this summer. And we got a lot of big things going on. So just tap in, and go within.
Yes, go within.
So, Reverend Tia, let's center us on out of here.
Okay, I will. And listen, Jay, I'm gonna send this to you too, so that you can put it on your site. But I'm gonna give everybody an assignment to check your legislator. Check them. And you can check them out by using these different things: open secrets, the FEC filings, track, AIPAC, which is APAC, and sludge reporting. You can find out which legislators have been paid, are getting paid, because this is why I need you to know that even the Democratic National Committee recently rejected a resolution specifically condemning AIPAC's influence, showing how politically powerful the issue remains. That AIPAC is paying our legislators for what they want to achieve, not for what we want from the people. The only way is that we have to be educated. We have to learn our people, learn your leaders, see how they are funded, and then you will know which causes they will fight for. That being said, I am inspiring you to become your own advocate. Fight for yourself, for the truth within you, and be the light that you have come here to be. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. You have the power within you. Thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you, Reverend Tia. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next week, turning a moment into a movement. Good night.
Good night.
Just a light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Just a light of mine. Just a light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh Lord, just let it shine. This light of mine, this light of mine. Oh Lord, would you please just let it shine. Take the drama out of my life. Oh Lord, every night the pain ain't right. I wake up at night, I never sleep. 26, 10, and 7, that's just me. Every day I need a little seed. I need a little fresh air, man, I need to breathe. All I know is trauma, all I know is tickets. All I know is no visit, all I know is a mission to get straight up out of prison. Lord have mercy for me. Lord have mercy on my people. Preacher Mary Washington and all my real. Lord have mercy with my people. I pray to God, we really need you. When I was down bad, when things weren't going right, every time I prayed at night, I put my hands up in my face. I said, Lord have mercy, little light of mine. Lord God, please let it shine. It's the drama that I live in my life. I swear to God, I was a bad guy every night. 10 toes down, salute. Everybody suffering, everybody who trying to make a way. Everybody looking for the sky, everybody looking for that piece of pie. In a law library, I know what that feel like. Hoping that somebody get active and involved in your situation. Man, pop your collar and pray. Cause Lord have mercy on my soul. And they make bad guy father get out soon. And the rest of those brothers who be mobbing to child each morning. Oh man, I ain't going to this afternoon. Man, I'ma miss dinner today. I got a cup of noodles. You know what that feel like? Do you know what it is? And if you a victim of a wrongful conviction, suffered and served by Ken Worthy, then I know that you know what that pain feel like. And your mama know what that pain feel like. Your father know what that pain feel like. With that light, let that little shine. Let that light shine, a little light of mine. Bad guy, Doughboy Week, all these great people in this great world of ours. 10 toes down, salute. I appreciate you, bad guy. I appreciate you, Week. I appreciate the tech. I appreciate everybody in the studio. We gonna pop off that LV, ooh-wee, cause that's what they be liking to see. But I hope you hear the missing when you see me fresh. Salute.